Lisa Morgan wiped sweat from her forehead as she checked the mining scanner one last time. The numbers looked good enough to end her shift. She had been working 12 hours straight in the outer tunnels of asteroid LV-426. Her muscles ached, but the pay was worth it. 3 more months and she would have enough credits to buy her own ship. The mining outpost housed 50 workers, mostly humans, with a few aliens from allied species. Lisa kept to herself, focusing on the job. She was not here to make friends just to earn her pay and move on. She packed her tools, her communication device buzzed. The voice of Hank, the security officer, came through. "Lisa, we got some strange readings in Sector 7. Can you check it out before you head back?" Lisa sighed. She was tired and hungry, but Sector 7 was on her way back to the main hub. "Fine," she replied. "But you owe me a drink." She climbed into her transport vehicle, a small rover designed to navigate the rocky terrain of the asteroid. The vehicle bounced along the uneven surface as she headed toward Sector 7. The asteroid had low gravity, making the ride feel like floating on waves. The scanner on her dashboard beeped, showing unusual energy readings ahead. Lisa slowed the rover, squinting through the dusty windshield. Something glinted in the distance, something that did not belong among the gray rocks and dust. As she got closer, her breath caught in her throat. A ship lay half buried in the asteroid's surface. But it was unlike any ship she had seen before, shaped like a teardrop. It seemed to be made of some kind of crystal or glass material that shimmered with purple and blue light. The ship was about 30 meters long with no visible engines or weapons. Lisa stopped the rover at a safe distance and reported back to the outpost. "Hank, I found something. You might want to send a security team." The communication device crackled with static. Hank responded after a moment. "Sorry, Lisa. Everyone is dealing with a pressure leak in the main hub. You are on your own for now. Take some readings and head back. Do not approach if it seems dangerous." Lisa frowned. She knew the outpost was understaffed, but finding an unknown alien ship seemed important enough to send someone. Clearly, Hank did not agree. "Fine," she muttered. "I will check it out myself." She grabbed her emergency kit, which included a small mining laser that could double as a weapon and a medical scanner. She approached the ship carefully, watching for any signs of movement. The surface of the ship seemed to pulse with energy, making the hair on her arms stand up. Lisa circled the vessel, looking for an entrance. The hull appeared seamless, with no obvious doors or hatches. As she completed her circuit, she noticed a crack in the crystal surface near what she guessed was the front of the ship. The crack glowed with the same strange light as the rest of the vessel. She hesitated, remembering Hank's warning not to approach if it seemed dangerous. But curiosity got the better of her. She had always wanted to explore space, to discover new worlds and species. Now something truly alien had literally crashed at her feet. Lisa squeezed through the crack, careful not to cut herself on the crystalline edges. The interior of the ship was dimly lit with the same purple-blue glow. The air felt strange, thick somehow, and smelled like flowers after rain. Lisa checked her oxygen levels. The atmosphere seemed breathable, but she kept her mask on just in case. The corridor she entered curved gently, leading toward what she assumed was the center of the ship. The walls were smooth and warm to the touch. As she walked deeper into the vessel, she noticed intricate patterns etched into the surfaces, geometric designs that seemed to shift when she looked at them directly. Lisa entered what appeared to be the main chamber of the ship. 5 raised platforms arranged in a circle dominated the space. Each platform held what looked like a sleeping pod, and in each pod lay a figure. Lisa approached slowly, her heart pounding. They were clearly aliens. Their skin ranged from pale blue to deep green, with delicate ridges where humans had eyebrows. They had no hair. Instead, their scalps featured intricate patterns, similar to those on the walls. Their bodies were long and slender, with 6-fingered hands folded across their chests. They appeared to be female, though Lisa knew better than to assume alien biology matched human concepts. 5 alien females, all unconscious. In their pods, the ship must have crashed recently. Lisa checked her medical scanner. The readings were confusing, showing patterns she had never seen before, but they seemed to be breathing, or whatever passed for breathing among their species. One of The pods had cracked in the crash. The alien inside had a gash on her arm leaking thick blue liquid. Lisa guessed it was blood. She opened her emergency kit and pulled out a medical sealer designed to close wounds. It might work on alien physiology, or it might make things worse. Lisa made a decision she would help them. She applied the sealer to the wound, watching as the blue liquid stopped flowing. The alien did not stir. She checked the other pods. They seemed intact, but the ship was damaged. The life support systems might fail. Lisa had basic medical training, part of standard mining certification. She could take them back to the outpost. The medical bay there was not designed for aliens, but it was better than leaving them to die. She returned to her rover and radioed the outpost. Hank, I found survivors, 5 of them aliens I have never seen before. They need medical attention. The reply came back immediately. Are you crazy, Lisa? We do not have the facilities for unknown aliens. Seal the ship and wait for the company response team. They will be here in 3 days. Lisa looked back at the ship. The purple glow was fading. The life support was failing. These aliens will be dead in 3 days, she replied. They need help. Now. She switched off her communication device, knowing Hank would be angry. She returned to the ship and began the difficult task of moving the aliens one by one to her rover. They were surprisingly light, almost hollow like birds. Despite their size, they weighed less than humans. As the sun set over the asteroid, Lisa Morgan drove back to the outpost with 5 unconscious aliens. The company would be furious. The other miners would be scared, but she could not leave them to die. It was not in her nature to abandon those who needed help, even if they were not human. Lisa arrived at the mining outpost as the artificial night cycle began. The main doors opened automatically, recognizing her rover. She drove directly to the medical bay, avoiding the common areas where other miners might see her unusual passengers. Medical bay was empty at this hour, which suited Lisa perfectly. She parked the rover at the service entrance and began moving the aliens inside one by one. They remained unconscious, their chests rising and falling in slow rhythm. Lisa secured the medical bay doors and activated the privacy protocols supposedly in place for confidential medical treatments. She arranged the aliens on examination tables, connecting them to basic monitoring equipment. The machines beeped in confusion, unable to interpret the alien biology. Lisa adjusted the settings to simply track changes rather than try to understand the readings. She cleaned the blue blood from the injured alien and applied a proper bandage. The wound already looked better. The edges, pulling together the medical sealer, had worked despite being designed for human tissue. As Lisa checked the 5th alien, she heard banging on the medical bay door. Open up. Lisa Hank's voice came through the intercom. I know you brought those aliens. Here, Lisa sighed and pressed the intercom button. They needed medical help. Hank. What was I supposed to do? They are unknown aliens, he shouted. They could be dangerous. They could carry diseases. We have protocols. Lisa looked at the aliens lying peacefully on the tables. They did not look dangerous. If you want to report me to the company. Go ahead, she said. But I am not abandoning them. There was a long pause. Fine, Hank said finally. But this is on you. If anything happens, it's your responsibility. Keep them contained in the medical bay. The company response team will be here in 3 days. They can deal with this mess. Lisa heard his footsteps retreating down the corridor. She returned to monitoring the aliens. She was exhausted but could not rest yet. They needed nutrients, fluids, something to help them recover. Lisa checked the medical supplies, selecting basic electrolyte solutions that might work across different biologies. She set up intravenous lines for each alien, hoping she was helping, rather than harming them. Hours passed. Lisa dozed in a chair next to the aliens, checking the monitors whenever she woke. She was deep in sleep when a musical sound pulled her to consciousness. Lisa opened her eyes. The alien with the bandaged arm was awake. Her large black eyes stared at Lisa with unmistakable intelligence. The alien made the musical sound again. It seemed to be trying to speak. Lisa sat up slowly, keeping her movements gentle. She pointed to herself. Lisa. She said clearly, My name is Lisa. The alien watched her carefully. Then it pointed to its own chest and made a sound like wind chimes. Celine. Lisa repeated, trying to mimic the sound. The alien nodded or made a movement that seemed like nodding. She pointed to the other aliens and made similar musical sounds. Lisa guessed they were names but could not reproduce them accurately. Lisa pointed to the bandage on Celine's arm. I helped, she said, using simple words and gestures. Your ship crashed. I brought you here for medical help. Celine looked at the bandage, then back at Lisa. She placed her 6-fingered hand over her chest and bowed her head. Lisa interpreted this as gratitude. Over the next few hours, the other aliens woke one by one. Each had the same reaction to Lisa, curiosity, followed by what seemed like gratitude. They communicated with each other in their musical language, occasionally glancing at Lisa. Lisa brought her tablet to the medical bay. She activated the translation software designed to help miners communicate with alien traders. It was not designed for completely unknown languages, but it might learn if given enough samples. She recorded the aliens speaking, encouraging them to talk. The software began to identify patterns, storing the musical sounds and attempting to match them with meanings. Lisa pointed to objects in the room, saying their names in English, while the aliens said their own words. The translation matrix slowly built connections. By the evening of the second day, Lisa could understand some basic concepts. Celine was indeed the alien's name. She was the leader of the group. They called themselves the Valari. They were scholars who studied different civilizations throughout the galaxy. Their ship had been damaged, which caused the crash. Lisa managed to communicate that they were on a mining outpost and that a company team would arrive soon. The aliens became agitated at this news. Celine struggled with the translation device but managed to form simple sentences. No company, she said. They find us, they hunt us. Lisa frowned, not understanding. Who hunts you? She asked. The biggest alien one with deep green skin took the translator. She had introduced herself with a name Lisa could not pronounce, but which the translator rendered as Miradrax. She said, Hunters. They collect species, study them, hunt them for sport. We escaped their collection ship. Ship damaged, emergency landing here. Drax will follow. Find us. Lisa felt a chill. The aliens were fugitives not from human authorities, but from some other alien species that hunted them. For the first time, she wondered if bringing them to the outpost had been a mistake. Not because the Valari were dangerous, but because she might have brought danger to the outpost. How do these Drax find you? Lisa asked. Celine pointed to her ship visible through the medical bay window where Lisa had left it. Ship has tracker, she explained. We disabled but maybe still works. Drax very good hunters. Never stop when hunting begins. Lisa thought quickly. If these hunters are coming, we need to warn everyone, she said. We need to prepare. Mira shook her head. No, prepare, she said. Run. Drax too strong. Too many weapons. Evolved to hunt. Cannot be defeated. Lisa considered this. The outpost had 50 people, mostly miners with minimal combat training. They had security personnel like Hank, but they were trained to handle drunk miners, not alien hunters. The outpost had basic defenses designed to repel pirates or claim jumpers. Not an advanced hunting party, but running meant abandoning the outpost, the equipment, the mining operation. The company would never allow it. And where would they go? The nearest human settlement was 2 weeks away, even in the fastest ship. Before Lisa could respond, alarms blared throughout. The outpost red emergency lights flashed in the corridor. A computerized voice announced, unidentified vessel approaching, defensive protocols activated. All personnel report to emergency stations. Lisa looked at the Valari. Their faces showed fear. Celine gripped Lisa's arm. They found us, she said. Drax ship coming for us, must hide. Lisa checked the monitor. The approaching ship was massive, at least 10 times larger than the Valari vessel. It had an angular, predatory design with what looked like weapons mounted on every surface. The computer announced unidentified vessel has established orbit security breach. Detected in hangar. 3 unknown life forms have boarded the station. Hank burst into the medical bay, his face red with anger and fear. What have you done, Lisa? He shouted. Something just docked at Hangar 3. They are not responding to communications. The security cameras show creatures I have never seen before, armed to the teeth. They are heading this way. Lisa looked at the Valeri, then back. At Hank, we need to evacuate, she said. Get everyone to the emergency shuttles. Hank stared at the aliens. This is your fault, he said. The company will hear about this. He turned and ran from the medical bay. Lisa turned to the Valeri. Can you walk? She asked. We need to move now. Celine nodded. The 5 aliens rose from their beds, unsteady but mobile. Lisa gathered medical supplies and her mining laser. She led the group toward the back exit of the medical bay. A new sound echoed through the outpost. Something. Between a roar and a mechanical grinding, the Valeri froze in terror. Drax, Mira whispered, they are here. The grinding roar grew louder. Lisa peeked through the medical bay window into the main corridor. 6 massive figures moved through the hallway. They walked on 2 legs, but had 4 arms each. Their bodies were covered in natural armor plates like a cross between insects and reptiles. Each stood at least 8 feet tall with broad shoulders and powerful limbs. They carried weapons that pulsed with energy. Lisa ducked back before they could see her. She turned to the Valeri, who huddled together, in fear. Those are the Drax, she whispered. Selene nodded, her eyes wide with terror. They hunt us for our minds, she explained, using the translator. We have abilities, connect with other minds. Very valuable trophies to Drax. Lisa considered their options. The medical bay had 2 exits, the main door that opened to the corridor where the Drax were searching, and a service door that led to the maintenance tunnels. The tunnels ran throughout the outpost, providing access to vital systems Lisa had used them many times during repair work. She knew routes that did not appear on standard maps. We can use the maintenance tunnels, she said. We need to reach the emergency shuttles in Hangar 1. The other miners will be evacuating. We can join the Mira. Shook her head. Drax will watch exits, she said. Always block escape routes. First rule of hunting, Lisa frowned. That complicated things, but she had another idea. The mining equipment storage, she said. It has tools we can use as weapons, and it connects to the old mining shaft. We can use that to reach the surface, find a place to hide until help comes. Celine looked doubtful, but nodded. The 5 Valeri followed Lisa to the service door. She opened it carefully, checking that the maintenance tunnel was clear. It was dark and narrow, perfect for hiding. She led the aliens into the tunnel, closing the door behind them. The maintenance tunnel was designed for utility, not comfort. They had to move in single file, ducking under pipes and stepping over power conduits. Lisa led the way, using her mining helmet light to illuminate the path. She could hear the Drax moving above them, heavy footsteps and that strange grinding sound they made. Lisa checked her tablet, accessing the outpost's security system. The cameras showed miners rushing to the emergency shuttles in hangar. 1 security personnel were attempting to establish a defensive position, but they were clearly outmatched. The Drax moved with military precision, securing areas as they advanced. Lisa zoomed in on one of the Drax. The camera showed details she had missed from her brief glimpse. Their faces were nightmarish, with multiple eyes arranged in clusters and mouths full of sharp teeth. Their armor was not equipment, but part of their bodies, natural plates that moved as they did. Some wore additional armor with symbols etched into the surface. Lisa guessed they were rank insignia or kill markers. She watched as one of the security officers confronted a Drax. The officer fired his weapon. The energy blast hit the Drax directly but seemed to have little effect. The Drax responded with its own weapon. The officer simply disappeared, leaving only Ash. Lisa closed the feed, her hand shaking. These creatures were far more dangerous than she had imagined. The outpost stood no chance against them. She checked the evacuation status. Most of the emergency shuttles had already launched. Only 1 remained in Hangar 1. It would be gone soon. She led the Valeri deeper into the maintenance tunnels, heading toward the mining equipment storage. It was in the opposite direction from Hangar 1, but Lisa knew they would never reach the last shuttle in time. The Drax would catch them first. The tunnel opened into a small junction with 5 different paths. Lisa paused, considering which way to go. A sound from above made her freeze. Metal groaned as something heavy moved across it. The ceiling panel cracked, then burst open. A Drax hunter dropped into the tunnel directly in front of them. The hunter was even more terrifying up close. Its cluster eyes fixed on the group, multiple pupils dilating with what Lisa guessed was excitement or hunger. Its upper arms held a weapon while its lower arms reached toward them. The Valari screamed, their musical voices high with fear. Lisa reacted without thinking. She fired her mining laser directly at the hunter's face. The beam hit one of its eye clusters. The Drax roared in pain, dropping its weapon to clutch at its face. Lisa fired again, and again keeping the beam on the creature. It stumbled backward, but even with damaged eyes it was not defeated. It swung its lower arms wildly, trying to grab them. Lisa shouted to the Valari, "Run. Take the left tunnel." Go. The aliens hesitated, then fled. Down the left tunnel, Lisa continued firing at the Drax, keeping it distracted. The laser was not powerful enough to kill it, but the continuous beam kept it off balance. She backed away slowly, then turned and ran after the Valari. The tunnel shook. As the Drax charged after them, Lisa could hear it gaining ground, its heavy footsteps getting closer. She saw the Valari ahead, waiting at another junction. She pointed to the right tunnel. Go. She gasped, "I have an idea." The Valari disappeared down the right tunnel. Lisa stopped and turned, facing the direction of the pursuing Drax. She aimed her mining laser at the ceiling and fired. The beam cut through the metal support beams. The ceiling collapsed in a shower of debris, blocking the tunnel. Lisa did not wait to see if her trap worked. She ran after the Valari. The right tunnel led to a maintenance shaft with a ladder that went up 2 levels. They climbed quickly, emerging in a storage room filled with mining equipment. Lisa sealed the hatch behind them and moved a heavy crate over it. It would not stop the Drax for long, but it might buy them some time. She turned to the Valari, who watched her with a mixture of fear and awe. "You fought Drax Hunter," Celine said, using the translator. "Never seen before." "No one fights," Drax. Lisa shrugged. "I just bought us some time," she said. "We need weapons." She moved through the storage room, selecting tools that could serve as weapons: plasma cutters, mining drills, explosive charges for breaking rock. She distributed them to the Valari, showing them how to activate and aim the tools. "These are not designed as weapons," she explained, "but they can hurt the Drax if used correctly. Aim for the eyes or joints where the armor plates meet." The Valari examined the tools with uncertainty. They were scholars, not fighters, but they followed Lisa's instructions carefully. Lisa accessed the security feed again. The situation had deteriorated. The last emergency shuttle had launched. All remaining personnel were either dead or hiding. The Drax had spread throughout the outpost, methodically searching each section. The leader of the Drax was visible on one feed. He was larger than the others, his armor more elaborate with what looked like trophies attached to it, small crystalline objects that glowed with different colors. Lisa zoomed in on the trophies with growing horror. They appeared to be preserved body parts from various species. The Drax leader activated a communication device. His voice came through the outpost speakers. The sound made Lisa wince. It was the same grinding roar but formed into words. "Attention, human facility. We are hunting escaped specimens. They belong to us. Return them and we will spare your lives. Resist and we will add you to our collection." Lisa looked at the Valari. Celine translated the message, her voice trembling. "He says we are property specimens to be studied and hunted." The Drax leader continued, "We know they are here. Our trackers never fail. You have 1 hour to surrender them. After that, we hunt all of you." The communication ended. Lisa checked the security cameras again. 5 Drax hunters, plus their leader, remained. 1 was injured, the one she had attacked in the tunnel. It moved with a limp favoring its right side. The others spread out, searching different sections of the outpost. They moved with practiced efficiency, checking rooms and sealing exits. Lisa turned to the Valari. "They will find us eventually," she said. "We need a plan, not just to hide, but to fight back." Mira looked at her in shock. "Fight Drax," she said. "Impossible. No one defeats Drax. Hunters." Lisa smiled grimly. "No one has tried hard enough," she said. I know this outpost better than anyone. I have worked here for 7 years. I know every corridor, every system, every weakness. We can use that. The Valeri looked skeptical, but Lisa continued outlining her plan. The outpost has automated systems for mining operations, she explained. We can hack those systems, turn them against the Drax. We can set traps, use the environment to our advantage. She pointed to the security feed showing the Drax hunters. They are physically stronger and better armed, she admitted. But they are in our territory. They don't know the outpost, we do. We can separate them, isolate them, pick them off one by one. Lisa looked at each of the Valari aliens she had only met 2 days ago, yet she was willing to risk her life to protect them. Something in her refused to surrender to bullies regardless of what planet they came from. The Valari sensed her determination. Celine stepped forward, placing her 6-fingered hand on Lisa's shoulder. Why help us? She asked. We not your kind. Not your people. Lisa thought for a moment. Because it's the right thing to do. She said simply, it's what humans do. We protect those who need help. The Valari looked at each other, communicating in their musical language. Finally, Celine turned back to Lisa. We help, she said. We fight together. Lisa nodded and began explaining her plan in detail. Some Drax hunters were searching the outpost level by level. They would reach the storage room eventually. The group needed to move first, set their traps, and be ready. She showed them a map of the outpost, highlighting key areas where they could set ambushes. Lisa led the Valeri through service corridors, avoiding main pathways where the Drax hunted. They moved quietly, stopping often to listen for the heavy footsteps of their pursuers. The first part of Lisa's plan required reaching the environmental control room located near the center of the outpost. They paused at a junction. Lisa checked her tablet. The security feed showed 2 Drax hunters approaching their position from different directions. They would be trapped if they continued forward this way, she whispered, leading the group into a narrow maintenance shaft. They crawled through the tight space, emerging in a storage closet. Lisa sealed the entrance behind them. According to the security feed, the hunters passed by, missing them entirely. They continued searching down the main corridor. Lisa waited until they were gone before opening the closet door. The path to environmental control was clear for now. They reached the control room without incident. Lisa sealed the door and accessed the main computer. I can control temperature, oxygen levels, and lighting from here, she explained to the Valari. Each section of the outpost can be adjusted independently. She showed them the outpost schematic highlighting 6 main sections. The Drax are cold-blooded, she said, using information Selene had shared about their biology. They prefer warm environments. We can use that against them. Lisa programmed the environmental systems to create extreme temperature variations throughout the outpost. Some sections would become freezing cold, slowing the Drax reactions. Others would have reduced oxygen, making it harder for them to function. She set the lighting to strobe in random patterns, disorienting anyone moving through the corridors. Next, she accessed the mining laser control system. The outpost had automated lasers for cutting rock. These could be redirected through the internal network. Lisa set them to activate when motion was detected in specific corridors. The lasers were not powerful enough to kill a Drax, but they would cause damage, especially to vulnerable areas like eyes and joints. Lisa checked the security feed. A Drax hunter had entered Section 2, where she had dropped the temperature to near freezing. Its movements were already slowing, its breath visible in the cold air. Another hunter triggered one of the mining lasers. The beam cut across its shoulder, making it roar in pain. Now for Phase 2. Lisa said. She split the group into pairs. The Valari had begun to show unexpected courage, inspired by Lisa's determination. Each pair would set traps in different sections of the outpost using the mining equipment. They had repurposed. Lisa gave them specific instructions and assigned locations. Celine would stay with Lisa. The 2 of them would head to the power core. The core controlled all energy systems in the outpost if necessary. Lisa could trigger an overload as a last resort. She hoped it would not come to that. The pairs separated, each taking different routes to their assigned locations. Lisa and Celine headed toward the power core, moving through maintenance tunnels when possible, and using service corridors when not. They were halfway to the core. when they encountered their first Drax hunter. It appeared around a corner, its massive form blocking the entire corridor, its cluster eyes fixed on them with predatory focus. "Run," Lisa shouted, pushing Celine toward a side passage. The Drax fired its weapon. The energy blast hit the wall where they had been standing, leaving a smoking hole. Lisa pulled out her mining laser and fired at the hunter, aiming for its eyes. The beam hit its target. The Drax roared in pain, but kept advancing. Lisa continued firing, backing away as the hunter charged. Celine pulled Lisa into a narrow service corridor too small for the Drax to follow. The hunter roared in frustration, trying to reach them with its long arms. Lisa fired her laser at the reaching limbs. The beam cut into the armor, making the Drax pull. Back, Lisa led Celine deeper into the service corridor. It connected to a vertical shaft with ladder rungs embedded in the wall. They climbed quickly, emerging in the upper level directly above the pursuing Drax. Lisa had prepared for this. She pulled out an explosive charge normally used for breaking rock and activated it. "Cover your ears," she warned Celine. Then dropped the charge through the shaft. The explosion shook the corridor. The Drax roared once, then went silent. Lisa checked the security feed. The hunter lay motionless, half buried in debris. Its armor was cracked open, revealing vulnerable flesh beneath. "One down," Lisa said. 5 to go. They continued toward the power core. Lisa receiving updates from the other Valeri pairs through her tablet. One pair had successfully trapped a Drax in the cold storage room, locking it inside and dropping the temperature to levels even its armor could not protect against. Another pair had led a hunter into the mining laser control room where the automated defenses Lisa had programmed cut it down. 3 down, Lisa told Celine. 3 to go. They reached the power core without further incident. Lisa sealed the doors and accessed the main controls. The core hummed with energy, powering the entire outpost. From here, she could monitor all systems and control the remaining traps. The security feed showed the 3 remaining Drax, the injured one from the tunnel, the one she had just defeated with the explosive, and the leader they had gathered. In the central processing room, the leader seemed to be communicating with them, his gestures angry and violent. Lisa zoomed in on the feed using the directional microphones to listen. The leader spoke in that grinding language. She could not understand the words, but the tone was clear. Rage, frustration. The leader activated his communication device. His voice came through the outpost speakers. "Human, we know you lead them. We know you fight for aliens, not your kind. Why protect creatures that are not your species? Join us instead. Help us capture them. You will be rewarded." Lisa looked at Celine. The Valeri woman trembled but stood tall, her black eyes fixed on Lisa with trust. Lisa activated her own communication link. "I protect them because they deserve protection," she replied. "Because your hunting is wrong. They are not specimens or trophies, they are people." The Drax leader laughed, a horrible grating sound. "All species are prey to the Drax," he said. "We are the apex predators of the galaxy. We hunt what we please, take what we want. No one defies us." Lisa watched as the leader dispatched his 2 remaining hunters. They moved with purpose, heading in different directions, one toward the power core where Lisa and Celine hid, the other toward the mining equipment storage where the remaining Valeri had gathered. Lisa checked the systems. One last trap remained. The mining laser control room housed the main power distributor for the laser grid. If overloaded, it would create an explosion powerful enough to take out a significant portion of the outpost. She hesitated. The explosion would damage critical systems, possibly making the outpost uninhabitable. But if it stopped, the Drax. Lisa made her decision. She programmed the overload, setting it on a timer. She would lead the Drax hunters to the control room, then trigger the explosion. Lisa looked at Celine. "I need you to go to the others," she said. "Help them stay hidden. I will deal with the hunters." Celine shook her head. "No, we stay together." She insisted I help. Fight. Lisa was surprised by the alien's determination. She had expected fear, not courage. She nodded. "All right, let's finish this together." They left the power core, taking a roundabout route toward the mining laser control room. Lisa intentionally triggered motion sensors along the way, leaving a trail for the Drax to follow. Sure enough, the security feed showed the hunters changing course. Following their path, Lisa and Selene reached the control room. Lisa sealed all but one entrance, forcing the Drax to come through a single door. She positioned herself behind a control panel with a clear view of the entrance. Selene took cover nearby, clutching a mining drill Lisa had shown her how to use. They did not wait long, though. First hunter arrived, its massive form filling the doorway. It scanned the room, cluster eyes moving independently, searching for threats. Lisa remained hidden, letting it enter fully. The second hunter followed close behind. They moved with caution. Sensing a trap, Lisa nodded to Selene. The Valeri activated the mining drill. The high-pitched whine drew the hunter's attention. Lisa used the distraction to trigger the final trap. Emergency blast doors slammed down, sealing the room. No one would get in or out. The hunters turned toward the sound of the closing doors, realizing too late they were trapped. Lisa stood revealing herself, looking for me. She called. The hunters roared and charged. Lisa fired her mining laser at the first one, hitting it in the already damaged eye cluster from their earlier encounter. It stumbled but kept coming. Lisa continued firing, backing away. The second hunter circled, trying to flank her. Selene moved with unexpected speed. She activated the mining drill and drove it into the second hunter's leg where the armor plates joined. The drill pierced the gap, tearing into flesh beneath. The Drax roared in agony, falling to one knee. Selene retreated before it could grab her. Lisa kept firing at the first hunter, aiming for the same spot, weakening its armor. The hunter reached her, its lower arms grabbing for her throat. Lisa ducked under its grasp and fired directly into its face. The continuous beam finally penetrated the armor. The hunter collapsed. The second hunter pulled the drill from its leg, blue blood pouring from the wound it charged at Selene. Lisa turned her weapon on it, firing repeatedly. The beam hit the hunter's shoulder, doing little damage. The Drax leader advanced into the storage room. His massive form silhouetted against the emergency lights. Lisa pushed the Valeri behind her, placing herself between them and the hunter. The leader looked at her with what might have been curiosity. "Brave. For prey," he said. "You fight well, human, better than expected, but fight is over now." Lisa assessed their situation. Her mining laser was nearly depleted. The explosion had damaged most of the outpost systems, limiting her options for additional traps. The storage room had only one exit, now blocked by the Drax leader. They were cornered, but Lisa Morgan had never surrendered to bullies regardless of what planet they came from. "The fight is never over," she replied. "I will not let you take them, die." Drax leader made a sound Lisa interpreted as laughter. "Your species is interesting," he said. "So small, so fragile. Yet you stand against Drax." Why, Lisa did not answer. Instead, she scanned the storage room, looking for anything that might help them. She noticed the emergency pressure suits hanging on the wall near the outer door. These suits were designed to protect miners during depressurization events. They could withstand the vacuum of space for short periods. An idea formed in her mind. The storage room had an external airlock used for bringing in large equipment directly from landing ships. The airlock could be opened manually, even without power. Lisa glanced at Selene, trying to communicate her plan without words. Selene seemed to understand. She whispered to the other Valeri, who began slowly moving toward the pressure suits. The Drax leader noticed their movement. He raised his weapon. "No more tricks, human," he said. "Surrender now. I might keep you alive." "Study how your species fights," Lisa stepped forward, drawing his attention away from the Valeri. "If you want to study humans," she said, "you should know we never give up." She threw her depleted mining laser at the leader's face. He deflected it easily, but the distraction gave Lisa the moment she needed. She lunged toward the environmental control panel on the wall and smashed the emergency release button. Warning sirens blared. The computer announced atmospheric decompression in 30 seconds. All personnel don emergency pressure equipment. The Drax leader realized her plan too late. He charged toward Lisa, but she was already moving, diving behind a heavy mining drill. The Valeri had reached the pressure suits and were putting them on with frantic speed. The leader fired his weapon. The woe Energy blast hit the mining drill, melting through the metal. Lisa rolled away as the drill exploded. She scrambled toward the pressure suits. The Valeri had an extra one ready for her. Celine helped her into the suit, sealing the connections. The computer counted down decompression in 10 seconds. 9, 8. The Drax leader roared in rage. He tried to reach the external door to seal it, but Lisa had locked the override controls. The only way to stop the decompression now was from outside the room. 7, 6, 5. Lisa finished sealing her suit. She grabbed Selene, pulling her down behind a heavy container. The other Valeri followed, taking cover. 4, 3, 2, 1. Decompression initiated. The external airlock blew open with explosive force. Air rushed out of the storage room, creating a powerful vacuum. Everything not bolted down was pulled toward the opening. The Drax leader dug his claws into the floor, fighting against the pull. His armor protected him from immediate decompression, but even he could not breathe in vacuum. Lisa and the Valeri held on to fixed equipment, their pressure suits protecting them from the vacuum. The Drax leader slowly lost his grip, the vacuum pulling him inch by inch toward the airlock. His claws left deep gouges in the metal floor, with a final roar that no one could hear in the vacuum. The Drax leader was pulled through the airlock and out into space. Lisa watched through her helmet as the massive hunter tumbled away from the outpost. His limbs flailing. Lisa activated her suit's communication system. "Is everyone all right?" she asked. The Valeri responded, their musical voices distorted through the comm system. They had all survived. Lisa led them to the emergency airlock controls. These were designed to function, even during power failures. She sealed the external door, allowing the room to repressurize. When the air returned, she kept her suit on, motioning for the Valeri to do the same. The outpost had suffered severe damage. Life support might fail in other sections. They made their way through the damaged outpost, checking for survivors. Most of the miners had escaped on the emergency shuttles. The few who remained were hiding in secure areas. Lisa found Hank in the security office. He stared at her through the reinforced window, disbelief on his face. She gestured for him to join them. He shook his head. Lisa accessed the outpost communication system. The long-range transmitter was still functional. She sent a distress signal to the nearest human settlement, explaining the situation. She requested immediate assistance, emphasizing that they had encountered hostile aliens. The reply came faster than expected. A Valeri ship had picked up Selene's emergency beacon. They were already en route to the outpost. They would arrive within hours. Lisa shared the news with the Valeri. Their musical language filled the communication channel, expressions of joy and relief. Selene placed her 6-fingered hand on Lisa's shoulder, her black eyes visible through her helmet. "Visor, you saved us," she said. Words not enough for gratitude. Lisa smiled within her helmet. "I'm just glad you're safe." She replied. They waited in what remained of the medical bay. The outpost systems continued to fail around them. The damage from the explosion and decompression was too severe. The facility would need major repairs before it could function again. Selene used the translation device to explain more about the Drax and their place in the Galaxy Drax hunt. Many species, she said, they believe it is their right as apex predators. No one fights them. No one defeats them. Until now. The Valeri ship arrived 6 hours later. It was beautiful, like their crashed vessel, but larger and undamaged. The crystal structure shimmered with blue and purple, light as it docked with the Outpost 20. Valeri boarded the station, moving with grace despite the damage. They were shocked to find their missing scholars alive. Having escaped the Drax was unprecedented. In all their recorded history, no species had ever defeated a Drax hunting party. They were even more surprised to learn a single human was responsible. The Valeri captain introduced herself as Lyra. Her musical voice translated through the device. "You have done something remarkable, human," she said. "The Drax will not forget this." Defeat? Lisa shrugged. "They started it," she said simply. The captain studied her with interest. "Would you come with us?" she asked. "Your mining outpost is damaged beyond repair. Your people have evacuated. We can take you to the nearest human settlement, or you could come with us to our homeworld. We would honor you as a hero." Lisa considered the offer. The outpost was indeed ruined. The company would blame her for the damage. She would likely lose her job, possibly face criminal charges for her actions. The idea of seeing the Valeri homeworld was tempting. She had always wanted to explore the galaxy. Before she could answer, her tablet beeped. A message from the company response team. They were 12 hours away. They demanded a full report on the situation. Lisa knew what that meant. Interrogation blame assignment of cost. Lisa looked at Celine and the other Valeri she had protected. They watched her with their large black eyes full of gratitude and respect. She had risked everything to save them, strangers of another species. She had fought against impossible odds, and she had won. She turned to Captain Lyra. "I would be honored to visit your homeworld," she said. The Valeri rejoiced, their musical language filling the air. Lisa helped the injured scholars board the crystal ship. The captain provided her with appropriate accommodations, a chamber adjusted to human biology. As the ship detached from the ruined outpost, Lisa stood at a viewing portal watching the asteroid grow smaller. Her old life was behind her. A new adventure awaited. Celine joined her at the portal. "Our people wish to learn from you," she said. "How humans fight, how humans think. Human courage and determination, valuable knowledge." Lisa smiled. "I want to learn about your people, your culture, your world." Celine placed her six-fingered hand on Lisa's arm. "You changed everything," she said. "Drax believed they were unstoppable. Now they know differently. Other species will hear what happened. Other species will learn humans protect those who need protection. Humans fight for what is right." The Valeri ship accelerated away from the asteroid field, its crystal structure glowing brighter as it prepared for faster-than-light travel. Lisa watched, the stars stretch into lines as the ship jumped. Word spread quickly throughout the galaxy. The story of a single human who defeated a Drax hunting party protecting aliens she barely knew. Species that had lived in fear of the hunters found new courage. Other humans hearing the tale felt pride in their kind. The Drax retreated to their territory, their reputation damaged by the defeat. Some said they were planning revenge. Others claimed they were reassessing their understanding of humans. As prey years later, when the first Drax ships appeared in Earth orbit, they expected an easy conquest. They had no idea that humans had been preparing, inspired by Lisa Morgan's story. Earth forces combined with alien allies, including the Valeri, fought back with unexpected ferocity. The Drax retreated, suffering their first major defeat in galactic history. They had learned a painful lesson. Never underestimate humans, especially when they are protecting others.